Hello and welcome to Acho Reviews in English, and a bit of a different video today. Usually I just do TLDR videos on this channel, as you will know if you follow the channel, but I was doing this video for the Spanish channel and I thought, well, why would the English channel miss all the fun? So, as we're now heading into final straight of 2023, I have to say it's been a very interesting year as far as things I've had a chance to try out. I haven't been able to review everything that I've had a chance to try for the first time. There have been so many things in only 52 weeks, but I have been lucky enough to get to try out some very impressive gear. Not everything I got to try out was new and shiny. Some things have been around for quite a while, but that didn't make them any less impressive. In fact, there have been lots of great things that I've managed to get my hands on, or rather ears on, during this year. Yes, there have been some things that were not great, even pretty terrible, but luckily those have been a minority, and most things have been quite pleasant to spend time with. I usually do some kind of recap at the end of the year, and I try to make it a little different to the previous year, as I think my reviews are already monotonous enough. And this year I have decided that I'm going to do the first Acho Awards. Yes, this unknown guy from Spain with this small YouTube channel and not much presence on a few forums is going to be pretentious enough to actually award products with a badge, as if that actually meant anything. But before you start getting upset and thinking, who are you? Consider that these awards are just meant to be a bit of fun. I'm not saying that these are the best products on the market or that I have any kind of status to actually award anything. I just wanted a fun way to present my recap of the 2023. In fact, the main reason is so I don't have to sit down and go through everything and rank it like I did last year, which took a lot longer than I had expected. Therefore, these awards are to the products that have impressed me the most, or those that I have had the most enjoyment with this year. Of course, your tastes may not and probably won't align with mine, but that's all part of the fun. Just don't take this too seriously. Before starting off with awards, I just wanted to mention something that I posted a short while ago on a few forums and on YouTube, asking for your opinions, and basically it was your top 3 for 2023. That was a title more or less of a few threads I created on a few forums, and in those threads I asked what the readers, or the viewers in the case of the Spanish YouTube channel, had been most impressed by in 2023. To be honest, after going through those threads, which didn't get a huge amount of traction in most places, they did on a couple of forums, but they didn't get a huge amount of traction in other places, and there really weren't any clear winners, as almost every person named something completely different. In fact, the most repeated product, with a grand total of 5 mentions across all the forums, were in fact the Apple AirPods Pro 2. So, as there's no clear winners for the public award, I'm going to skip that part and we can move on to the real reason that you're all here, which is the Acho Awards. Okay, so let's get on to what are possibly the most irrelevant awards of 2023, those that have been decided just by me and judged on my own personal tastes and biases. As I've said many times in the past, in almost every review, I try to be as unbiased as possible in my reviews, but that definitely does not mean I am free of biases. I'm human, and as with every person, I have biases even if they are subconscious. I'm going to split these awards into 5 categories, and that's going to be the sub €50, sub €100, sub €500, and sub €1,000, and then finally the no limit category. And just another reminder that these are just items that I've tried in 2023. They're not necessarily products that have been released in 2023, nor are they necessarily the best products available on the market. Starting off with the sub €50 category, there have been quite a few, but I do feel this ultra budget category has been slightly calmer in 2023 than it was in 2022, at least here on Acho Reviews. But that doesn't mean that there haven't been some very good products, and out of those, the nominees are the Kiwi Ear Cadenza. Now, this €30 set of IEMs was something that went straight to the top of my ultra budget preferences when I spent time with it back in January of this year. Armed with a single 10mm beryllium diaphragm dynamic driver, I just find this to be a great all-rounder with a slight touch of warmth in the low end. The Moondrop Space Travel. As someone who doesn't really review many TWS IEMs, I'm just as surprised that this set of Bluetooth IEMs is on the list as you are. But with the price under €20, having seen it for less than €10 during the sales, I'm amazed at just how much I've actually used these IEMs. They're not the most detailed, nor do they have a performance that is out of this world, I just find them to be a fun listen, and I always have them available when I want to listen quickly, be it music, videos, or anything else. The 7Hz Sonus. Now, last year I ranked the 7Hz Soundnote Zero as probably my favourite set of ultra budget IEMs, and I find that the Sonus are an upgrade to the Zero while staying very similar. They add in a BA to the DD and still keep it under €50, making for a set of IEMs that I consider well worth the price. The Soundnote Zero 2 has recently been released, and the review is coming of that, but I'm afraid it's not quite in time to make it onto this list, maybe for next year if these awards take off and become famous. So for this year, it's the 7Hz Sonus. The Blonde by HBB Z300. I finally feel that Blonde, with the help of HBB, released something worthy of their releases from years ago, such as the BL03 and the BL05S, etc. These may not be my favourite tuning, but they are still a lot of fun. They're a fun set of IEMs, and they come in under €30 with a great aesthetic, a great design, and it earns them a spot on the nominees for 2023. And the winner for the sub 50 award category is the Kiwi Ears Cadenza. Even though it was the first set of IEMs I reviewed in 2023, 12 months later it still stands at the top of my ultra budget picks for this year. So well done Kiwi, your price is in the post. I feel that the sub 100 category is where there has been most movement this year, with many sets sitting just above that €50 price bracket of the previous category. And I actually had quite a few products in mind that I had to reduce in order to come up with a final list of nominees. And those nominees are iFi Audio Uno. This small USB powered all-in-one device is a great option for laptops and other portable devices. While it's just a little larger than a dongle, it's still very small, it's still a very light device. It features an analog volume knob, balanced and balanced outputs, although they are both from the same 3.5mm connector, and RCA outputs for external speakers. It even has 3 different EQ modes to choose from, and it's well under the €100 mark. Truth Ear by Crinical Zero Red. This IEM was teased by Crinical for quite some time, with multiple revisions to the tuning before it was finally released during Hein Munich 2023, which is where I first got to hear it. And coming in at just over the €50 mark, this IEM has a tuning that I really like, along with great performance in its range, and I can find nothing but praise for it at its price point. Venture Electronics SIE or SIE. This set of IEMs doesn't aim to compete with all the others around it, it does its own thing, and it does it very well. While I'm not one for bass-focused IEMs, I find that the CA provides great performance for when I'm in the mood for a little more kick, and it makes it a great set for those long Friday afternoons in the office. Heidi's S9 Pro Plus Martha. This dongle is an upgraded version of the S9 Pro that was released quite some time ago. While the original S9 Pro was a good dongle, the Plus Martha tweaks it in a way that I just find much more enjoyable. Since reviewing the dongle not long ago, it has found a spot on my desk, and it gets more use probably than any other dongle that I have in the collection at the moment. And the winner for the award for best sub €100 product is the Truth Ear by Crinical Zero Red. While it's the most economic of all the nominees, it holds its ground and provides a great listening option that I just find myself grabbing on plenty of occasions. So congratulations to Truth Ear and to Crinical. I'll buy you a coffee in Munich next year. Now we start into the categories where the price is less of a factor in the rating, as there are many good options out there in this price point. This might not be a high budget category for some, but it is still way above what many would even consider investing in an earphone setup. So for the sub €500 category, the nominees are Let's Shure S15. This is the last minute entry, as I only reviewed this very recently, yet I find it to be surprisingly different from so many of the planar IEMs that are on the market at the moment. It has a lower and a mid-range that I find very dynamic, and it's a set that makes for a great listening session when I just want to relax and break away from the norm. Kiwi Ears Quintet. Featuring a multiple 1 dynamic driver plus 2 BAs plus 1 planar plus 1 PTZ configuration, these IEMs have really been a revelation for me this year. There's been a lot of competition in the price range, but to my ears, the Quintets have been the IEMs that set the bar in this price range. The Cadenza has already received the award for the best in the sub 50 category, and the Quintet are a very similar presentation but just better in every way. These are one of the sets of IEMs that I reach for the most when I'm not specifically reviewing something. The iFi Audio GoPod. The GoPod have proved that excellent Bluetooth audio is possible. These wireless adapters come with multiple connecting cables to allow them to be used with the IEMs of your choice, and they just do an excellent job of pairing with all of them. It's the first time that I have actually found myself reaching for Bluetooth over a wired connection just for pleasure and not for necessity. Burson Audio Playmate 2. If you need power, then this device has got plenty to give it to you. An all-in-one that just performs great out of the box with just about anything you plug into it. Maybe a bit too powerful for IEMs, but no matter how much juice you need, it gives it to you, and it has the option to easily upgrade the op amps if you wish to. Adding all the bells and whistles does push this unit over the sub 500 euro category, but the base model is still a great device that is worthy nominee. And the winner of the sub 500 euro category is the Kiwi Ears Quintet. While this category has been much harder to choose the final winner, I just can't deny that Quintet have given me so many hours of listening pleasure that they just have to take this award. So congratulations once again to Kiwi Ears. As we climb higher in price, the options may become less, but they do become harder to choose between. After finally deciding on the nominees, this is the only category that I have not actually nominated any IEMs. That's not because there haven't been any great IEMs in this price range this year, but it's because I had to choose the nominees, and this time I couldn't even narrow it down to 4. So the 5 nominees for the best under 1,000 euros are Fio R7. This really is an all-in-one device that does everything except make coffee. It's basically a desktop DAP that features a full Android operating system with all the streaming capabilities, local playback, network playback, digital and analog inputs and outputs, basically anything you could ask for in a desktop setup. While the saying goes jack of all trades and master of none, the R7 does do a respectable job with all of its functions, and it definitely earns itself a place on this list. The Fio M11S. While the R7 is an all-in-one desktop solution, the M11S is an all-in-one solution that fits in your pocket, as long as your pockets aren't too small, of course. I said in my review of this DAP that it was actually the first Android-based DAP that I considered purchasing, and this earns Fio a second nominee spot in this category. Meze Audio 109 Pro. While I actually got to hear these headphones last year, this year I got to spend time with them, and they left me even more impressed than they did the first time around. This is a very enjoyable set of headphones that are not very picky about what they're hooked up to, within reason, even being a great set of headphones powered by a simple dongle. They have a very natural sound to them, along with being well built and just great looking. Irmen Traduto. This DAC was a total surprise to me. I already knew that Irmen made great products, but when putting the Traduto through its paces, I found it to be much more enjoyable than I would have imagined. The price is actually on the lower end of this category, costing less than 600 euros, but it has turned into my main DAC for reference and for enjoyment. Aon S9C Pro. This DAC amp combo is a device that when reviewing it, I thought it would be priced much higher than it is. While it's available for less than 750 euros, I honestly expected it to fall outside of this under 1,000 euro bracket. It looks great, it's built great, and performs even better. I actually took this rather large desktop device on vacation with me this summer, and I had to make a conscious effort to stop listening and to go and do family vacation things. And the winner of the Acho Award for the best sub 1,000 euro product is the Meze 109 Pro. I think that these are just an excellent set of headphones, and if I was only to have one pair of headphones, then these would certainly be on the list of candidates. So congratulations to Meze. And now last but definitely not least, the category with no price limit. Before getting to the nominees in this category, I want to make a couple of honorary mentions to things that would have been serious contenders in this category, but I haven't had the chance to spend time with them in proper conditions. That doesn't mean the conditions that I tried them were bad, just that I haven't had a chance to spend my usual week or more with the device before giving my opinions. While these were all amazing devices during the time that I did get to try them, sometimes it is a different story when you're actually living with a device for any period of time. So to all the manufacturers of these devices, of the honourable mentions, please feel free to send them to me on loan for a longer period of time so that I can confirm the excellence that I already suspect. Shameless plug. Anyway, the honourable mentions are the Sennheiser HE1. Now, having listened to this setup, how could it not be on this list? This is regarded as one of the, if not the best headphone setups that exists. Unfortunately, I did not get to spend time with it in quiet conditions, so I cannot say it's the best I've ever experienced in headphone audio, but I can say that it could possibly be the one if listened to in a quieter environment and with my own music of choice. The next honourable mention is the Warwick Acoustics Aperio. Now this is just an amazing setup, offering detail and performance like I had never heard before through a set of headphones. The listening conditions were far superior to those of the Sennheiser, so it's not really a fair comparison, but I would bet that they are on a very similar playing field. And the final honourable mention is another Warwick, and it's the Warwick Acoustics Bravura. And this is actually the cheaper model to the Aperio that I just mentioned, coming in around 6,000 euros rather than the almost 30,000 euros of the Aperio. Now, I have to say that the Aperio is certainly a step above it in regards to sheer performance. However, I actually enjoyed the time listening to the Bravura more. While the Aperio is more impressive, I find that at least after the listening sessions that I had, that the Bravura is more relaxing to listen to. And it's really the first time I've actually come up with a rival to the Susvara paired with the Felix Audio Envy. And I could go on with more impressive things that I got to try this year, but let's get back to the fun and the listed nominees for this final category. So without further ado, the nominees for the best product with no price limits are the Hi-Fi-Man Svana. These IMs just agree with me in a way that I always reach for them whenever I have time to relax and listen to some music. While the sound signature does deviate from what I would say is my preference, the Svana just clicked with me and add a little warmth to my most enjoyed music genres, giving me something that rivals my favourite desktop setups but fits in my pocket. The Irmen Traduto Champ Stack. Yes, I know that the Traduto already made it onto the sub €1,000 list of nominees, but when paired with the Champ to create the full stack, it just becomes even better. Using it as a center to my other amplifiers and speaker setups, it is clean without being cold and musical without being warm, and this is what I would consider my most neutral setup and just has become my reference for many other things around it. Cayenne N7. I spent a few weeks with this DAP and it is spectacular. It offers a selection between A, B and Class A amplification, and when turned to Class A, it's just such an amazing portable device. Paired with the Svana that is also on this nominees list, it is most probably the most enjoyable portable setup that I have ever heard to date. The three just click together. The three are the N7, the Svana and my ears, of course. The Aroma Audio Fei 1. This is something that I spent time with recently and found very impressive and even more enjoyable. It is not my usual tuning, but it works to present a sound in a way that I found to not be interpreted as it looks on paper. Surprisingly different and surprisingly great were the words that I used to describe it. And as far as the separation of layers in complex tracks, it's the best set of IEMs that I've heard to date. And for the final award of the night, the most enjoyable product that has been across my desk and in my personal and totally biased opinion is a tie. How about that for an expected turn of events on award night? Okay, it's not quite the level of Will Smith's slap, but it's still unexpected. But anyway, let me explain. If I had to pick just one of the 5 listed nominees for this award, then it would be the Irmen Stack, as it's given me more hours of pleasure than anything else on the list. However, it's not really one product, but a combination of 2. And if we're talking of combining 2 products on the list, then the combination of the Svana and the Cayenne N7 is just amazing, so that combination would win. But then the Irmen Traduto and Champ, they can be purchased together, so they could be classed as one. So anyway, as I couldn't decide, I've decided that my award for the product with no price limit goes to the Hi-Fi-Man Svana, the Cayenne N7, and the Irmen Traduto Champ stack. So congratulations to all of them. Now, I know this is going to be controversial, and I don't want anybody to feel cheated, so as the sole organiser, judge and jury of these awards, I've decided to refund the entrance fee to all of those who have attended the awards. Thanks for taking the time to watch this video. Maybe you even got a smile out of it. Thank you all for all the support that I've got throughout the year. It's appreciated, it really is, both on the blog, on the Spanish channel, the English channel, the forums. It's just great. I hope to keep improving, or at least not get worse, throughout 2024. And maybe next year we can have a proper awards ceremony. Till then, see you later.